Hello everyone! Welcome back to a brand new film review. Today I'll be talking about the brand new animated film from Warner Bros. Animation, Storks. In 1946, there was a Looney Tunes cartoon called Baby Bottleneck, which was about Daffy Duck and Porky Pig managing a factory where storks deliver babies across the world whilst wacky shenanigans ensue. What works well in a cartoon doesn't always work in a movie, but that doesn't mean you can't take a concept like that and do something with a feature film. So what happens when you take the director of the Pixar short Presto and the director of films like Get Him to the Greek and Neighbors, Nicholas Stoller? Do you get a chock full of laughs or a complete mess? Well, let's see what they put together. By the way, this video might contain a little bit of spoilers, so I suggest you either watch the movie, or if you don't care, that's fine. With that said, let's start off with the plot. The main plot centers around a once stork company that delivers babies, now a stork company that delivers packages. When the top delivery stork, Junior, is promoted to boss of the workers, he is told to fire the only human working there, Orphan Tulip. But then he decides to send her to the now defunct mailroom. Meanwhile, the son of two workaholic parents, Nate Gardner, sends a letter to the company asking for a baby sibling to play with after he finds out about them. When the letter arrives, it creates a baby, so now Junior and Tulip have to deliver the baby to its guardians while going through many obstacles, such as avoiding getting noticed by the company's CEO Hunter, a pack of hysterical wolves, and trying to care for the baby itself. In concept, the film has all the right ideas to make this a charming buddy comedy for the whole family. And, for the most part, it exceeds pretty well. It actually feels a lot like a cartoon that Tex Avery, Chuck Jones, Bob Clampett, Friz Freleng, or any of the other famous Looney Tunes directors could have directed way back when. Not just because of the wacky humor, which I'll get into later, but also because of the journey. Admittedly, the journey that Junior and Tulip go on does feel kind of similar to any Pixar film, with the duo not getting along at first, but then they overcome each other as they go on. But the film does give them enough time to develop off each other, and so that they can learn more and more about what their goals are, where they come from, and why they do certain things, even if their quirky eccentric personalities can often translate in a more hit-or-miss manner. There's also the subplot featuring Nate with his family. However, it comes off as rather straightforward, and it's easy to guess what will happen given Nate's goal throughout the movie. Plus, his parents have that same trope, where despite being workaholics, they try their best to keep their son happy and stuff. And as cute and sentimental as it can be, it still just comes across as rather cliched. It doesn't help that the movie itself does come with several other tired film cliches. Not just the duo who overcome each other on their obstacles, but also the big promotion from one job to another, the protagonist who wants to find out who she really was, the side villain finding out where the heroes are, and even how the main villain tries to get rid of the protagonists. But they're not the worst case of cliches being handled. I've already said enough about Junior and Tulip, but I will say this, that they are really funny with their personalities, and their goals can be quite relatable to some. As for the rest of their characters, well, they're more of a mix. The main villain, aka the CEO of the company Hunter, does come off as just another average trustworthy boss, but there's quite a nerve to him that he has with babies and little tiny birds, which presents him as quite threatening and cunning, and Kelsey Grammer does a nice job presenting him as the evil corporate man. Pigeon Toady can either be amusing or annoying with his exaggerated "what's up bro" voice, but he is a decent enough deuteragonist every now and then, as he just follows the orders with what goes on. Plus, Stephen Kramer Glickman is just hilarious as him. And then there are quite possibly the funniest characters in the movie, the Alpha and Beta Wolf, voiced by none other than Key and Peele. I love those two comedians as they are. I think they are so talented and funny, and this film is no exception. Key and Peele deliver quite possibly the best parts of the movie due to their personalities constantly shifting from menacing to energetically adoring the baby, as well as offering some of the absolute best visual gags of the movie. Plus, I can never stop quoting, "This tastes like flowers." It never gets old. However, if there are two things this movie really nailed in the execution, it would be the heart and the humor. The film definitely knows when to have its cute sentimental moments with the baby, and they always come off as more adorable and less schmaltzy. Also, when the movie's main characters have their moments of relief and sentimentality, it gives the film a lighthearted tone that never comes out randomly and portrays the scene with just the right kind of emotion to make the audience feel for them. Although I wouldn't be lying if I think that the humor is the true highlight of the movie, since the movie really wants to make the audience laugh. It's got plenty of one-liners, visual gags, surprisingly decent pop culture jokes, slapstick, subversion, line deliveries, and it's very rare when they miss their mark, as they have such exquisite timing and charm to them. Also, since Junior and Tulip do spend the journey caring for the baby, they spend time feeding and trying to put the baby to sleep and all that kind of stuff, which also makes the movie quite relatable to any parents who raise their own offspring. Since the movie obviously wants to be as cartoony as it can, that also means it wants its animation to be as cartoony as it can, and it did the job perfectly. It's interesting to note that the animation was actually farmed out to Sony Pictures Imageworks, who are well known for doing the animation for films like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Sausage Party, because it sure explains the wacky cartoon animation. The characters look kinda simplistic, but given the silly nature of the film, they contrast well. And I could tell that the animators really wanted to express their inner Tex Avery and Chuck Jones, because the movements can get rather exaggerated and wacky, and at just the right moments. Although some of the places the leads go to are kinda generic, like a cave, the Arctic, and just suburbs, the animators still give the backgrounds life and present them in colorful, unique, vibrant, and bright manners. The effects animation is also quite creative, such as the factory robots, the water, the machine that creates babies, and even some of the lights and electrical effects. My one little criticism to give the animation is that, similar to A Bug's Life and Freebirds, many of the storks look like the exact same model. But that's just more of a nitpick, which just shows how well done the animation is. Oh yeah, and the baby looks absolutely adorable. I just want to eat his little cheeks. Overall, while Storks might not be the best animated film of this year, alongside films like Zootopia and Kubo, it definitely is one of the funniest alongside Sausage Party. Even if some of its ideas work better in concept, and there are some hit or miss moments with the characters, the film still has a lot of humorous moments, well-crafted, fast-paced cartoony animation, memorable characters, and some great voice acting. My two biggest recommendations are those who will find this relatable as they have themselves looked over their own babies, and kids as they'll get a real kick out of the cartoony animation and the wacky slapstick. Also, before the movie would begin, there's this animated short film that's essentially a promotion of the upcoming LEGO Ninjago movie. I'm not a fan of Ninjago, but that was pretty funny, as it essentially played around with the old Legend Master with a chicken, and had the same kind of wacky humor as the LEGO movie. And with all that said, I'm going to give Storks a 7.5 out of 10. Even if it wasn't my favorite movie this year, at least it made me laugh quite a bunch. Great job, Nicholas Stoller and Doug Sweetland. And that'll be it for now, guys. Thanks for joining me for another review, and I'll see you guys later. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go take care of those wolves.
This tastes like flowers.
Yes, I know!